Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. So
this is Layla Santinello. She has been missing since June 27th, 2023, and she disappeared from Kingsport, Tennessee. Chronicles of Olivia and I went out to Kingsport, Tennessee on several different trips, searching for Layla Santinello or any information leading to her whereabouts. These are my thoughts on this case.
well, I have to be honest with you. I was hoping by now we would have found Layla. So this has been very hard. You know, we want to bring her home. We want to make sure that her family knows what happened to her, I think is really the most important. Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. Just like to speak to them just for a moment and just say, if you know something, say something, because her life does matter. For the family members of these people that know what happened to her, it could have been your daughter. It could have been your granddaughter. You need to ask them to stand up and speak up.
Tom, it's just a tough subject. A recent study by Brown University showed that nearly 450 children are killed each year by their parents.
My daughters were picked up on a Friday by their father to spend the weekend, and that night he pumped carbon monoxide into their bedroom and slit their throats.
Searches have begun for 2 children killed by their mother in Hopkins County.
9-year-old Hayden King was laid to rest today. Hayden's 4-year-old sister Harper will have a celebration of life service tomorrow morning.
Here's a story that's breaking at 6 o'clock. It's all centered around the 3 people you see on your screen. The key pieces in a Middletown murder case.
On the left is James Hutchinson. Police say the 6-year-old was killed allegedly by his own mother.
East Los Angeles mother was charged today with killing her 3 young children. The youngest was less than 2 months old.
At 6 with breaking news.
Good evening to you, friends. Greg Merriweather along with Elizabeth Vow. Our top story today, that precious little 2-year-old right now. 2 people are facing charges accused of murdering little Nevaeh Allen. Investigators found the 2-year-old dead in Mississippi after several days of searching.
One of those blamed in her death, the girl's mother, Lanaya Cardwell.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
Well, good morning, my beautiful people of YouTube. It's nice to see you this beautiful Sunday morning, the beginning of December. We have made it to the end of the year. Congratulations. You guys are not featured on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. I know many of us probably should be debuted on the Bullhorn Betty channel, but we survived. We survived, right? We only got about 31 more days left, and we are through the year. Okay, we're through the year. It went by a little quicker, especially for us older folks, right? We want to say, whoa, slow it down. Slow it down just a little bit. I am on the MacBook Pro, so if I'm a little cloudy, a little hazy, it's because of the computer. I didn't put the new one up. Hold on, let me just fix this. I know it fell. The computer fell this morning. I was trying to do so much. I was trying to hold this thing up here. We're going to be going over this. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Let me take, there we go. I just got to be, it's got to be where my face is. I don't know why it's not showing up on here. All right, let me take my background off. Give me a second. All these darn tootin' things. Okay, there we are. There we are. We got a list. We got a list, a timeline. I've been working on this very, very much so. Right? Look at this. We even did a backside. Look. We're gonna be filling this in. We're going to be filling this in. Delilah's in my lap, peacefully resting. And we worked on this very hard. She told me that it sounds like there's a lot of missing information in this small town case, which leads us to believe that, hey, might be something more going on here. So let's go over what we're here for. But before, I'll give a few shout outs. I'll get a few shout outs. We're already 213 people strong in the chat. So I'm going to do my best to get through all of the names this morning. But if I can, I'm only going to take a few minutes. If I can't, good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone. Melanie, the first in the chat to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty and beautiful Delilah. Good morning, my beautiful Melanie. Eeyore Blue says, good morning, Betty. Good morning. Grace upon Grace is here. And look, Eeyore has kicked off our goal. We have 10 goals. Now we're down to 9. And I'm going to be playing a blooper video for you. A blooper video if we hit our goal in the next hour and 15 minutes. Laura Arnold, it's nice to see you this morning. Shelly, Dawn, Mona, Denise, it's nice to see you. Oh, Anna, it's nice to see you. Good morning, my love. Good morning. Phil is up in the house. Our beautiful, the real me too, is rocking it out with Bullhorn Betty. River, our beloved River saying, hey, hiya. Nice to see you, love. Nice to see you. Miss Bobby is up in the house saying good morning to everyone. YouTuber is here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Cinderella is up in the house. It's nice to see you. Good morning, Mary. Reminding us, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the way in. If 206 people haven't hit that thumbs up, you guys are already in the bad, you know. We have naughty and nice. It's the season. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Crime Addict is up in the house. Pink Butterfly, tattoos, thrifting, and coffee. You sound like my type of person. Good morning, Mickey Shell. It's nice to see you. Amanda, it's nice to see you as well. Caroline is blessing us this beautiful morning. Nice to see you, love bug. Kim, good morning. Christina, Donna, good morning. Good morning. Sophie, it's nice to see you, my love. Mama Bear is up in the house. You better watch out. Wah, wah, wah. I feel like when I do that, I feel... Paula, it's nice to see you. Whitney, good morning. MJ, it's nice to see you. Linda, it's nice to see you. Houston, good morning. Good morning. Don't mind me. I'm just having fun over here. It's Sunday. We're getting blessed today. Deanna, it's nice to see you. Jeffrey, good morning. Good morning. Who else do we have? Did I say hi to you, MJ? If I didn't, good morning. Eileen, it's nice to see you, my love. Oh, beautiful Gypsy. Hopefully you saw me call you out. Don't forget, for my mods, drop Gypsy's link in the chat if you don't mind. She was I had a single goal on one of my videos, and Gypsy matched and met it. So thank you, Gypsy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, Brenda. It's nice to see you. Good morning, Sissy. Good morning, good morning. Freezing. I'm totally used to it. My homeless pit days. Judge Megan, I was paying Pete's and Trevor's bills. I don't know what that means. Well, it's nice to have you. We'll pray for you. Today's Sunday. Great day for prayer. Great day for prayer. We got Top Hat in the chat. Chaos. Oh my gosh, where's VA? And I can smell him. If you're here, I'm sniffing him. I'm sniffing him out. I'm sniffing him out, or unless he's sleeping. Is he sleeping? Angelina, it's nice to see you. Panda Bears, Mom, it's nice to see you. I got time today. I really don't. We're up against a clock. It's supposed to start at 8. We're just now starting. I got 1 hour and 15 minutes to get this stuff done. Miss Tiffany, it's nice to see you. Veronica, good morning. Karen, good morning. Teresa, yay! I'm glad you caught alive. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful Rod is up in the house. Nice to see you, my love. Saved by Grace. Oh, what a great name today. What a great name today. Good morning, love. Good morning. I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with some of your names. I really am. Mr. and Mrs. Car Guy, it's nice to see you. I hope you guys are doing well. Pam, Lou, it's nice to see you as well. Little bit of everything. Good morning, Outer Banks. It's nice to see you. Betty, good morning. Vanessa, Stacy, good morning. Good morning. Tanya, hopefully I got that right. Good morning. It's nice to see you, love. Our beautiful lady Justice. Oh my gosh, you know what? I didn't check Facebook. Did you resubscribe to Facebook? Send me an email. Resubscribe. Tell me send me an email, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Tell me your username and I'll get you approved. Oh, yay! Thank you, Gypsy. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful unicorn, Indiana. It's nice to see you, love bug. I hope everything has been going well for you. There's Via. I knew he had to be sniffing around somewhere. I knew you were here somewhere. Usually I see you before I see chaos. Usually. Judy, it's nice to see you. Happy feet, happy soul to soul. I love that. Makes me want to know, are you a foot doctor? Do you work with feet? Or do you just have a foot fetish? Okay, don't answer. We don't need TMI. Okay, I'm prying too much. I'm just joking. Happy feet. It's nice to see you. Oh my goodness, he's awake. Oh, that's cute. Oh, love it. Veronica, thank you guys. Mary, it's nice to see you. Paula, good morning. Trooper's mom, it's nice to see you. Marla, good morning. Mitzi, good morning. Grace upon Grace, good morning. Michelle, I think I said hi to you, Mary, but if I didn't, good morning. I'm trying to go through here. I think we got through everybody. Awesome. So we've got 7 more, and I'll be showing you guys a blooper. I'm drinking coffee. Don't mind the cough. I got to get off and actually I'm drinking black coffee, but it was already before I drank, and not only that, I had that freaking cream pie. I had somebody in my chat saying, oh my gosh, did they not know I make pies? Oh, Miss Tiffany, thank you. We got 6 more. April from Illinois, good morning, love. Somebody tried to say that that pie, first of all, when I make a pie at the shop, I use a piping bag. I don't know if you noticed around the edges. That was our famous, I didn't have anything to make actual whipped cream. I didn't have any whipped. So I bought, the whipped, the tub to mix the Oreo and stuff in, the whipped topping. And I also got one of the whipped toppings. And of course, I have piping bags here, but I didn't have any more of the tub whipped topping left for the piping bag. It was all put into the pie. And so I used the, around the edge of the pie, and I took a picture. Well, I will tell you the kind of stuff doesn't keep, okay, in the fridge. It kind of falls, right? And it's not, it's definitely not pie worthy whipped topping around the edges. So for whoever thinks that I did something, I didn't make this pie, I made this pie. And it's absolutely, utterly too rich for my blood. I have to have like a sliver of the pie. And it's rich. It is very, 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 it'll put you in a diabetic coma. Okay. That's how rich this Oreo pie is. And of course, my neighbor does not supposed to be eating sugar. I took him a nice big old fat slice of pie and told him, enjoy. Enjoy. Oh, good gracious. Oh, good gracious. All right, so we've got very limited time to go over everything I want to go over. So, oh, thank you, Bobby. Awesome. I appreciate that. And that I'll count as 2, even though the system doesn't count it as 2. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we only need 3 more, and I'll play the blooper. But before I play the blooper, we're going to get back to our whiteboard. Our whiteboard was donated by Veronica. Thank you. Was it Veronica? No, Angelina. Sorry. Our whiteboard was donated by Angelina, and it has been. I love this thing. It's perfect. It's the perfect size. You know, it's a perfect size. And I got both sides. I got one side and the other side. I know you guys can't see it, but I do. Okay, I'm gonna put it in front of my face to cover my face. Isn't that cool? I can just make myself go away just by putting the whiteboard here. I love it. All right, so we have. This is where I'm going to have. All of my information here, because we have a lot of questions, okay? We have a lot of questions when it comes to the timeline. And so I went through the timeline, just the basic timeline, not into all of the weeds. I'm old, I eat pie. Caroline, this pie, I'm telling you, when I ate it, I mean, it sounds so good. And I know I've eaten it at her shop, but I always get the little pies when I'm at Laura's shop. And so I decided, you know what, I want to make a big pie. I love the pie. Well, I'm sorry. It's rich in a small pie. Okay, I made a big pie. I changed my username. Riv is a Stitch lover. I love it, River. And so I went through here and I realized out of all the stuff, Delilah treat fun. Thank you, Angelina. And I got to tell you, the treats that I buy for her are top-notch treats. Like, I'm still waiting for the chicken jerky to come in, and it feels like they're making it before they send it. Good gracious, I've been waiting forever. But thank you, Gypsy. Thank you. I think we're down to one more, and I'll play the blooper before we get started. Everybody wants to see this blooper. You guys probably already seen the blooper, to be honest with you. But it is funny. I don't even know what to say. Like, not embarrassed, but it was. I make chicken jerky. It's so yummy. Oh, well, this can't have any like flavor or seasoning on it. Just chicken, because it's for the pooch. But I've been waiting for that, but she gets a chicken, like chicken jerky, and all of her stuff, like non rawhide treats, stuff that's going to be good for her belly. But she eats sometimes so fast she gets hiccups, which I guess is common in puppies. All right, and you guys are going to have to mind me because my allergies will kick in this morning, and I haven't been on allergy pills in like a week. So I'm dying here because I'm too lazy to take a freaking allergy pill, which frustrates me. So one of the very first questions that I have when it comes to this case is, we don't know, like, all that morning, we have literally no idea what the time frame is on anything. The only time frame that we actually have when it comes to the day before Sebastian went missing is we have around 11 a.m. that we heard where the mom went and picked up the cousin, right? To take the cousin to BJ's to meet the rest of the family. We have 11 a.m. that day. And we have, because of Seth, we have a 6:30 p.m., which is dubbed the Proof of Life video. The next time that we have conclusive, it's alleged, because the people that I believe did something to this child, either harm this child or is doing something related to the custody of this child. We have to say alleged, because I don't trust their statements. But this is what we know from them. We know the 11 a.m. We know the 6:30. And then we hear 9 p.m. That is really 9 p.m., 9:43, 10 p.m., 11:30, and 12 a.m. So those are all the hard times we know based off some of the interviews. Now, I'd like to fill this timeline in with specific times if possible. Maybe my audience has heard times. Maybe they know the time. But can we assume some of these times? Can we kind of think about what has happened and assume that maybe some of the times might be a certain time? For example, Sunday, February 25th, this is the morning. In the morning, we know that they got up out of bed, right? We know that they got up out of bed. Why? Because they had a fun breakfast that was bragged about. When was the fun breakfast? We have no clue, right? We have no clue. We know it was in the morning, right? But we have no specificity. And when you're missing a person, specificity is what is needed, right? Now, law enforcement most likely has their exact timeline, at least how they explained it to law enforcement. We also know that they're very manipulative, conniving, and very good at conning people. They're cunning, okay? So, what does it say? Google it, y'all. What are you talking about, YouTuber? Let me go up. I second that motion. Let's look at what VA says. VA says, I'm declaring today make no sense day. Okay. I see why people are seconding that. Okay. Proudfoot's tried to pass off the 3-hour phone call as the entire 3 hours, which basically was only 20-minute phone call. Then phones remained. Ooh, Caroline has a theory here. There's Caroline's theory. Could we assume? Now, here's the caveat. Could we assume that getting up is at 6 a.m.? Could we assume that they got up this Sunday at 6 a.m.? Now, it's assumption, right? And we have to agree that our weekend, well, not mine. I'm a little older. I'm not old. I'm just a little older, right? And my timeline, my body wakes up pretty much the same time. It doesn't matter whether it's Monday or Saturday or Sunday, right? I'm usually up between 3:30 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. every single morning. Never fails between that time. Maybe sometimes I'll wake up at 6, but usually my body, my internal clock wakes me up between 3:30 in the morning to 5:30 every single morning. I haven't had an alarm clock. The only time I use alarm clocks, honestly, is throughout the day to make sure I'm not sidetracked and forgets that I need to go somewhere or do something, right? So I don't even use alarm clocks anymore. I don't know how many other people are like me, but I haven't used alarm clocks to wake up in literally years. I'm up. When I'm awake, I don't go back to sleep. And I think that's from my high school years, because every time I went back to sleep for 5 minutes, I felt 10 times worse and more tired when I woke up 5 minutes later. So my body knows after all this time and training that it needs to wake up. Top Hat says I'm up at 3 a.m. I don't use them anymore either. Right. We don't use alarm clocks. When we get a little older, our sleep sucks. Our bodies ache. In places that we shouldn't be. I can sleep 12 hours. Well, God bless you, Pink Butterfly. I wish I could. I can't. I try. Okay. I try. Even in my depressed times, I shouldn't say that. When I was really depressed, especially last year, over all the nonsense that was going on, I could sleep. I woke up, did my lives. I studied a little bit, and then I was out. It was, I don't know. It was just one of those things. I'm old at 52. Oh, Melanie, give it up. Give it up. We got people in our chat that are in their 80s. Okay. We're not old. Trust me. I woke up at 6:30. I go to bed at 2 a.m. and up at 7 a.m. every morning. Exactly, MJ. So you get that. So the reason why I'm asking, could we assume that they woke up, the house was getting up around 6 a.m.? Why do I say that? Well, it's because we have, I don't know, mom attesting that that's when she normally gets up. Let's listen.
I'm positive.
How do you know what clothes he was wearing?
The clothes that we described are the ones I saw him in when he went to bed.
That morning, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Is that the normal time you wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So could we assume that 6 a.m. is her normal time of waking up? And would that be different on the weekends? Would that be different on the weekends? I don't know. That's why I've got a big old fat question mark to the time that they got up. But what we did learn is that when they did get up, they had what is known maybe as a fun breakfast. Let's listen. Let's listen to how this morning started out. This is going to take us through to our fun breakfast. We don't know what time the fun breakfast was. We know that they left to go get the niece around 11 a.m. We don't know what time they got to BJ's. We don't know what time they put away the snacks. We don't know what time they made it to Strikes and Spares. And we don't know what time they made it to Texas Roadhouse. We don't know what time the green hoodie and yellow jacket guy spoke to the mom. And we know that they were leaving the restaurant around 6:30 due to the proof of life video. But we don't know what time they came home. But we do know when they came home, Sebastian went straight to his room. But sometime at some point, he allegedly took out the trash, but we don't even know what time he took out the trash. However, we do know that he went to bed at 9 p.m. We do know that there was a call from Katie to Chris at 9:43 that lasted allegedly at least more than an hour, potentially 2 up to 3 hours. We heard that the mom started falling asleep around 10. However, the stepfather states that she slightly fell asleep. I don't know how you slightly fall asleep, especially it being at 10. And you're alleging that you didn't get off the phone until shortly before midnight. Sounds a little hinky to me. CP wakes up KP to go to bed and put the dogs away. And then we know that 11:30, lights go off in Sebastian's room for the last time. A figure walks through the home to the back of the house, turns off lights. The house goes dark, and a figure is peering out of the front window. We don't know exactly the specific times of that, but we know that that happened between 11:30 p.m. and midnight. And of course, by midnight, mom allegedly was absolutely asleep at midnight. And so we're just going to focus on the 25th. The 26th is obviously a little bit easier because the child was missing, and now we just have the breakdown of the time of when everything happened that morning. So let's listen to from the time they got up to the time he went to bed. This is Chronicles of Olivia.
Sunday, the day before he went missing, we got up and...
No time of when they got up.
Fun fact, I made breakfast that morning.
No time for the breakfast, except it was morning.
We had a good time. We were laughing. We were joking.
Does anybody find that she has to interject? We were laughing and joking. I don't know if, it just seems like more convincing language to me.
He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag.
We don't know what time that was. We just know it was during breakfast.
We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. had a good.
I'm pretty sure that the 11 a.m., I thought it came in on this one, but I guess around 11 a.m. must have came on one of the others. But she specifically says around 11, they went and picked up the niece. Now, I thought it was in this one, but apparently it's not. Let me just back up a little bit so you guys can hear it.
And asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's.
No time for BJ's.
Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn.
Not sure what that detail was for. And why would he need a colossal popcorn if he had just eaten breakfast? I'm still a little curious about that. But, you know, allegedly he's a bottomless pit.
Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, you know, he's 15 and snacks.
Oh, snacks. Okay, so we don't know what time they came home to put those snacks away. I can't see the chat, by the way. For y'all just hold off. Let me just pop over here to the chat and see if we have any questions so far and see if anybody can fill in the time. The whole purpose of this is to find out if we can add or fill in a time on one of the question mark time slots, right? So we have got up. We can assume around 6, you know, but we don't know this family. Sometimes people are up at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, and on Saturday they don't get out of bed until 9:30, 10 o'clock. I don't know if that's the case because they have an autistic child that doesn't sleep well. So would she automatically get up just to check on him? Potentially. We don't know. It was interesting. The other day was in Jay's live harassing her and called him out. Now we have a Jeffrey today. Well, you know, what can I say? The man, Karen, the man does like to use other people's research as his own. So maybe that has something to do to why he always uses bad names. Jeff is getting attention. He came here for, okay. Who is this Jeff? Whoever Jeff is, one of the mods, you guys, like all my friends' local TV ads, I save them all. I don't know. Jeffrey, if you don't tone it down, it sounds like you're rubbing some people the wrong way in here. Mods, if it continues, then he's been warned. I lost my show, Jay, due to the heinous crimes. Does anyone want to buy a house? Okay, this is not a place to sell your house. So again, we're here for Sebastian Rogers. If you continue to be disruptive to the audience and to the chat, then you're going to have to be removed. So hopefully you can, you know, get something. Too late for blocking and deletion. I already have it. And then so, okay, I don't like threats either. Okay, Jeffrey, have a great day. God bless. Wish you the best. It's Sunday. Hopefully you change your ways. Nobody wants to hear this nonsense. We're here for a 15-year-old child, not your problems. Okay, so we're back here, and we could assume that they got up around 6. I'll say around 6 to be fair, to be a little liberal on that. We had a fun breakfast. Don't know what time that was. We heard that the BJ's niece trip was around 11:30. We don't know when they were home to put the stacks away. We don't know when they went to Strikes and Spares. We don't know when they went to the Texas Roadhouse, only when they were leaving the Texas Roadhouse. So let's see if we can garner any additional information with this interview with Chronicles.
Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, you know, he's 15 and snacks.
Of course, I had a rewind.
We went to the bowling alley.
We don't have a time for the bowling alley. Was it in the evening? Was it in the afternoon? When was this bowling alley trip? Let's keep listening.
And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway.
So it almost implies that he did this immediately when he got home. But did he? Because when you come over to their very first interview and they're talking about what could have potentially happened, let's listen to what they say originally. And this is not even really originally. We have another one that that was before this interview, and we'll get to that. Let's listen to what happened, what she said here.
We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room.
Playing in his room when they got home. This is after they arrived back home from dinner. He was playing in his room. Nothing about the garbage being taken out here on March 4th. Okay. This was March 4th. Nothing related to him taking out the trash. Let's just listen to that again.
We were out and about that day. We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room.
I think he's staring so much at her face to make sure that she has the right behavior, because he is paying awfully close attention to her behavior. So let's just listen to that one more time.
We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did.
That wasn't a very confident. That's why she laughed. I think they had this. Is when I've heard this the first time, I knew that that he must have problems going to bed, because if you go back to my original commentary on this video right here, I raised that immediately because of that laugh.
He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you."
Again, nothing about the trash can. He came home. They had a great weekend. He came home. He went to bed. Then it was time for him to go to
his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you." Say goodnight to his puppies. A little bit later, I wound up going to bed, and when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there.
Very vague. She glosses over everything about a little while later. A little while later, I went to bed. And when I went and woke him up, he wasn't there. So that's kind of everything on the 25th in the very first interview. Let's see if she breaks it down or gives any more detail.
So in your mind, that's usually around what time? When do you normally wake up? Around 6 o'clock?
6.
So were you instantly thinking something's wrong, or were you like, he may just be already in the shower, in the living room?
I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes.
So there you have that aspect of this. Yeah, that child talk is annoying. He's staring at her to make sure she's not looking at the camera and saying everything that was rehearsed. It kind of seems odd that he pays so, but if you look at him, he's looking at her demeanor. He's, and his demeanor is off by doing that. It just seems very like somebody had rehearsed, glossed over, just bullet points, of what needs to be said. But again, we are sitting here trying to make heads or tails of that evening. So this is what they say after their trial run. What do I mean trial run? They selected a very, and not that I have my different, I don't have anything against Duchess. Okay. Duchess has something against me. So let's just get that clear first and foremost. I don't really care for the lady because she's supposed to be in true crime and has, hopped on a bandwagon instead of doing her own due diligence and research, which obviously makes me frown on any potential research she could do, because she's never done any research on me and she's taken somebody else's hate and applied it to me. So that's where my issue is with her. And not only that, but she talks too much in an interview. Okay. It's very, very annoying. She wants to fill in the blanks herself instead of allowing her interviewees to fill in the blanks so we get the true story out of their mouth. And so that's really the only thing that, and again, just constructive criticism, not dislike or anything for the lady. She dislikes Bullhorn Betty. That's her problem, not mine. So let's get over to Duchess because we literally have a half an hour to get the rest of this wrapped up. But I always judge people's ability to investigate and do true investigative journalism or even independent journalism, citizen journalism. I have no problem with that. But if you're going to say that you are this beacon of research and you can't research me, then, you know, obviously that gives me an idea, a context of where your researching lies. It sounds like you don't really research, that you use other people's research as your own. But I digress. This is a interview from Duchess, and this is kind of explaining that evening. So let's hear what goes on that evening. I may have to back it up. I think I got it where I need it to be, but I'm not sure.
And you did tell me that Sebastian is not a runner.
He's not.
It's okay. Take your time.
So the day
Sebastian
before,
does not have a history of running.
So the day before, good gracious. So the day before the interview with WSMV, she sounds like this wreck, right? She can't hold her composure. She sounds like a wreck. She's acting. This is why I said this is her dry run, because you hear this alleged emotion this day, but not this day, the very next day. If she's crying on Duchess explaining this, why is she not crying here when she's explaining the same thing? It's because here they've got cameras on her face, as opposed to here where they have their cameras turned off. So this is why I call this the dry run. Let's listen to what they have to say.
You did tell me that Sebastian is not a runner.
He's not.
It's okay. Take your time.
And see, she's too coddling, in my opinion. She coddles. You know, we're here to get some information. I know you have to use kitten gloves with these parents at times, but this is over the top. And never mind the fact that Duchess has a relationship with a family member of Miss Proudfoot. Okay. So, you know, what really is going on here with this whole situation? I'm unsure, but let's just get back to it.
Sebastian.
I mean, we are transparent, right? And Duchess should have equally been transparent, in my opinion.
Does not have a history of running. I mean, the young man doesn't go outside very much.
Okay, and this is another thing we're going to talk about real quick, and maybe you guys can help me with this. What would ever make parents believe that a child that's autistic, and they know more about autism than we do, the lay person that doesn't, you know, that we're learning about this autism, right? Oh, we met our match. Thank you, Guy. Oh, look at that. I didn't even see that. Thank you, Turtle Gang. And Outer Banks, wouldn't the dogs have barked if they were alerted by someone or Sebastian walking in the middle of the night? Well, good question, Outer Banks. I don't know their dogs. But we do know that they were having this interview with WSMV and the dogs were not barking. Now, did the dogs bark when the lady walked in? Possibly. But if it's like my dog doesn't really bark at anyone unless she doesn't know them. And then she's like, "Urgh," with her bad little cute growl, right? So not necessarily. Not necessarily. I can tell you when I get up and move about this house, this dog doesn't bark. But I guarantee if the front door opened and I was in the back room and she didn't know who was at the front door opening it, she would start barking. The doorbell absolutely makes her bark. So I don't know their dogs. You know, I can only use the experience I have with Delilah. My other dogs didn't bark at all. You know, even Chance, Vince had them trained not to bark. Unless it was, I mean, they did bark. And when they did bark, we got alerted because they never bark. But I I don't know. I think with strangers they would, but the house, the dogs barking from people that they know moving around the house, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. That is, now I don't know if in the middle of the night, if somebody's walking in the door and they don't know who it is, would they, and they were pinned up, would they bark? I would think potentially, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Tracy. God bless you. God bless you. We'll go over all these and then I'll do the blooper. So what would inspire? Let me ask this question. Maybe it's a 1-2 question. Okay. So let me finish it. Let me get it out of my house. Oh, hey, Yada. It's nice to see you, my love. Let me get it spit out before you guys start, logging your answer. Do you find it odd if a child has never ran away from home? Now, this is not a normal child. This is a child that is autistic. We have to apply the autism, not a normal child. Okay. Do we find it odd that a child that's never run away from home before, that a parent wakes up in the home and their child is missing? What is the probability of them actually believing the child ran away? Would it be a high probability or a low probability? High probability being number 1, a low probability being number 2. What do you think with your own child? If you woke up, and for those that have autistic children, if you woke up and you know your child has never ran away from home, what would the probability, if your child was missing out of your child's bed, would you automatically assume that child ran away? 3% chance the child ran away, Caroline says. Doris says small. Nancy Grace, someone has my child. KP states that someone has, that's right, I forgot about that. She believes somebody has her child all of a sudden. So we've got a lot of people, low probability, everything. Hold on. Everything is odd in this case. Yes. The crackfoots. Can't look for a missing child, but they don't miss a vacation destination. True that. True that. Running away wouldn't even cross my mind. I don't know how many parents that running away would cross their mind. I mean, if my grandchild, if I put my grandchild in a room for bed and woke up the next morning and my grandchild was missing, the last thing I would think is that child got up and ran away from home. Why? Because my grandchild has never ran away from home. Even when I stuck them in the corner, they never ran away from home, never even threatened to run away from home. But if they did, that would be the only reason I would ever think my child or my grandchild walked or ran away from home, is if they threatened that they were going to run away from home because I was being mean and woke up the next day and they were gone. Yeah, I'd believe it. I'd believe it. So that's another thing. Okay, so let's get on. We only got a few more minutes that we can designate to this, and then we got to wrap up.
Much. I mean, everybody in the neighborhood knows him. He is very...
That is untrue. People say they knew about him but never saw him. As a matter of fact, even gave the caveat of when you drive by the home, you don't even know a child lives there. There's no basketball hoop. There's no bicycle outside. There's no toys outside that a teenage boy would play with or anything. How do we know that Sebastian wouldn't enjoy the outsides more if he had things to play with outside? Just a thought.
Very to himself, so to speak. Between the hours of 12 and 6, he has basically vanished. Walked out of the house, the door was locked. And
how do they know that? Why would that be the first thing that they think? But this is not what the conversation about. Well, I think we'll do another live on we have done many walking out lives on this show, but this is the timeline. Let's listen to the timeline.
And gone.
He didn't take a phone.
This is
None of his shoes are missing.
This is going to be talking about the evening. This is where the evening timeline comes into play. Is this live here? It's coming up.
Now, you told me that night that, now, Chris, you were at work. You were out of town at work,
Yes, ma'am.
so you were not even home.
Correct, ma'am.
And Mom, you
Sorry.
fell asleep on the couch.
I didn't realize
about
on
10
here.
o'clock, but you said that Sebastian went to bed at 9 p.m. And then you got up off the couch and you went to bed, and you said that was around midnight.
Midnight.
And nothing was unusual at that point. Everything seemed okay.
Okay.
There's actually
Before he puts the caveat, the spin on the story, the original story that was talked to Duchess earlier, they realized they must have left something out, or from the time they talked to Duchess in the morning to this evening live, may have spoke to law enforcement about a detail of the case, which is what I truly in my gut believe happened because of this right here.
piece of, so to make something very crystal clear, so that way there's transparency across the board. Me and the mom were on the phone at 9:43 or 9:46 in the evening. We stayed on the phone for quite some time. The call logs have been verified by all the police departments, TBI included.
See, this is why I believe law enforcement questioned them about this. Okay? Because his statement of this has been verified. He puts spins on information to make it appear in the best possible light for them. Okay? He has this clever way of twisting bad information and making it look good for them. Not one time has a 3-hour conversation been brought up, but on this live, Duchess clearly spoke to the mom and the stepfather prior to this interview. And from her conversation, she said earlier that day. Okay? Earlier that day. And she spoke with them about the timeline, and she reiterates the timeline with the mom and the stepdad on the phone right here. Now let's go back and listen to that and listen to how Chris has to jump in and fix it because something wasn't told to Duchess. And I truly believe that something happened between the time they spoke to Duchess and the time they went on this interview. And I truly believe that law enforcement had received the call logs back from, now mind you, this is only the 3rd, March 3rd, just 6 days. So they may have earlier that day received that call from law enforcement or had a law enforcement agent come to their house and say, look, we need to chat about this. We see a significant call, lengthy call from, oh, yeah. Well, didn't she tell me she was sleeping on the couch? Now he's got to fix it. That's what I truly believe happened. Does that mean that's what happened? No, it doesn't. That's just my opinion in my brain, how I believe this whole situation transpired and why there was such a difference between Katie's statement and Chris's statement. So I'm going to back it up just a little bit, and I want you guys to hear this in its full context. I think it's about 20 seconds. Give me just a second. Let's see if I got it right. That's about 20 seconds.
A piece of...
Oh, no, it's going to be a little bit more than that. Maybe about a minute.
Well, you told me that night.
Okay, here we go.
And gone.
Okay, here it is.
He didn't take a phone. None of his shoes are missing.
Why couldn't she show this emotion on camera with WSMV? I'm done. Okay.
Now, you told me that night now, Chris, you were at work. You were out of town at work,
Yes, ma'am.
so you were not even home.
Correct, ma'am.
And Mom, you fell asleep on the couch about 10 o'clock, but you said that Sebastian went to bed at 9 p.m. And then you got up off the couch and you went to bed, and you said that was around midnight.
Midnight.
And nothing was unusual at that point. Everything seemed okay.
So she was asking, was anything unusual that night? And then Chris interjects. Now listen to Chris having to fix the timeline. Why did he have to fix this timeline? Because they have already told law enforcement something else. That's the only reason, in my opinion. Allegedly, in my opinion, do your own research, come up with your own theories and speculation. This is mine.
Okay.
There's actually a piece of, so to make something very crystal.
There's a piece of, he never finished that sentence. I didn't catch that before. Listen.
Midnight.
And nothing was unusual at that point. Everything seemed okay.
Listen.
There's actually a piece of,
there's something he was about to say, and he caught himself.
so to make something very crystal clear, so that way there's transparency across the board. Me and the mom were on the phone at 9:43 or 9:46 in the evening. We stayed on the phone for quite some time. The call logs have been verified by all the police departments, TBI included. We stayed on the phone. It was very lengthy. Mom did slightly start falling asleep while she was on the couch. I had said, hey, you need to wake up, put the dogs up, go to bed. Now, mind you, that was right around midnight, just before midnight or right around midnight.
Just before midnight or right around midnight. It's very hard for somebody to fall asleep at midnight if they're going to bed at midnight. So it'd have to be before midnight if she's completely asleep by midnight. Just saying. Now, before we finish this, that's what we heard, okay? Now we're down here. We got solid information in time that Sebastian went to bed at 9. A call to CP that lasted until around midnight at 9:43. At 10 p.m., Mom fell asleep / slightly, because she tells Duchess she fell asleep on the couch. Chris is the one that has to correct it and say she slightly fell asleep while she was on the phone with me. Shortly before midnight, CP wakes up KP and tells her to go to bed and put the dogs away. I don't think we got there yet.
Mm-hmm. So then Mom does go to bed and wakes up early in the morning.
Okay, so that's where we're going to leave there. Now let's go back over to Nancy Grace, but I've got to find another spot, and it's goes to bed before midnight. Asleep. Let me just put asleep in here. Falling asleep on him. Okay, so here it is. Let's listen to this. Let's see what she has to say here.
Does anyone else have a key to your home beside your immediate family?
Give it just a second.
No.
No, ma'am.
That night, Miss Proudfoot, at midnight when you went to bed, what did you do until midnight?
I had been reading a chapter that I needed to, and I had been talking to my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep.
That's not true, because if she called him at 9:43 and started falling asleep at 10 p.m., slightly falling asleep according to Chris. If she started falling asleep, how would she be reading a book or a chapter while she's on the phone with her husband when her husband and her didn't speak on the phone until 9:43 and she started falling asleep some 17 minutes later? Doesn't give you a whole lot of time to read an entire chapter for school. But again, just my opinion.
To my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep on him, so that's when he told me it was around midnight. He told me to go ahead and put the dogs up and go to bed, and that's what I did. I got up, put the dogs where they sleep, and then I myself went to bed.
Where do they sleep?
They have a big pen.
A pen, is it inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. That reminds me of another question. Do you guys have a motion sensor light or lights on the outside of your house?
Yes, we do have lights on the outside of our house.
Did they activate that night?
They're not motion censored. We have lights.
Were they on that night?
No,
okay.
ma'am.
Were they?
And what is the probability that 2 Navy seamen would have virtually no security for their home. And one works for Brinks. What is the probability of that? You know, what is the probability of that? We did see from the Zillow an ADT sign in the front of the yard when they were selling the home that, you know, Chris and Katie ultimately purchased. So that tells me there was a security system in that home. Could it pick up which doors were opened and closed? If they did have, let's say, a motherboard in their house, whether it was active or deactivated, would it still record the opening and closing of the doors? We have our opinions. Pizza can believe what they wish. I think you bet people can believe what they wish. I'm so late. Good morning. Oh, that's okay, Beth. You can go back and rewind. The lack of security is BS. Exactly. But we definitely know that there was. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on a second. 10. Oh, let me keep that quiet. So we don't have any issues. Let me just pull this up. Let me share this. And look right here. This is the selling of their. Let me see. I think that's about as close as I can get. But see right there. I don't know if you guys can hear my stomach growling, but if you can, please don't judge me. My stomach is growling so loud here. I don't know if you guys could see that. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get, why isn't this working? Okay, no thanks. Where's the front door? I think if, Dad burn it. The front door, there it is. This will be a little easier to blow up. Right there. You see that? Right there. That tells me that there is at least a hardwired security system inside the home because I'm familiar with ADT. And ADT doesn't really have, at least during these times, didn't have, I don't know if they do now, a wireless system. Most of their systems have to be hardwired, and there's actually a motherboard typically put in a closet. And it's like, I don't know, maybe a 2-foot, well, maybe an 18-inch by 18-inch or foot by foot box that has all these little wires that go into it that runs the system. It's the motherboard. It's not the keypad. It's the actual motherboard. Oh, you guys can't see it. Sorry. Hold on. Let me go back here. Sorry, I was unfamiliar. There it is. Sorry, I didn't. Sometimes I forget that I got a full face right here. So right there, ADT. Sorry, you guys couldn't see it. I wasn't on there because I'm working from one screen. Usually when I'm working from 2 screens. Sorry. Again, misinformation is why there is so many issues. There has been CPS reports on stepdad. There has no SC's whatever your name is, lover. Please produce me the at CPS reports on the bio dad. You can't. They don't exist. That's how I know. They don't exist. They seriously don't exist. So please, if you're going to say you're talking about, you have in here, again, misinformation. And yet here you are putting misinformation in the chat because the bio dad has no CPS reports. Otherwise, produce them. My email is bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Sadly, both have not shown this child. I don't know where you're getting that. I don't know where you're getting that. As a matter of fact, that's so insulting to me because you are misinforming people, providing misinformation and disinformation in my chat. This is your warning. You put in my opinion. And you do not criticize a faithful member of my chat, such as Eileen. That's not going to happen. Okay? You're allowed to have your opinion, but don't come in here and act like you got facts because your facts are so sorely wrong. So who's really misinforming? Because I can guarantee you cannot produce one scintilla of a report for the bio dad. I guarantee you can, because one doesn't exist. But I guarantee I could probably produce the reports for stepdad. It's going to take we know they exist. Let me put it that way. We know that they exist. The only thing that exists for the bio dad is a bunch of rumors. So please, by all means, if you're going, CPS doesn't give public CPS reports. Seth says CPS was involved with him on Pascal. Okay, so because he was spoken to by CPS, that automatically deemed that he was the one that did it? It had nothing to do with his child being AR'd and molested? Have you lost your ever-loving mind, lady? You need to get your facts together and get them together really quick. Because let's be honest here. Everything that's happened to this child that's been bad has happened to him by his mother and in his mother's care. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So because he spoke to CPS, it automatically was about him, not about his child. This is what's wrong with people and spreading around misinformation. While you're criticizing somebody for spreading around misinformation, you engage in it yourself. Shame on you. Get your facts together. Get your facts together. So now that we know this is the things that we didn't realize until Miss Bobby. That at 11:30 lights go off. They're on and off from 9:30 to 11:30. Figure walks towards the back of the home and turns off the lights. House goes black. And a figure is peering out the front window. That was all between 11:30 and midnight. Shortly before midnight. Imagine that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And we actually have just enough time, I think. No, I don't. We're going to have to do Monday, the timeline for Monday, February 26th. Do we? Okay, I'll just give you guys this real quick. Karen, those teachers from the school never said anything like that. I'm sure you know. Seth said they were contacted around file a restraining order when indecent. Oh, you know what? I'm so sick of this. You have no facts on your side whatsoever. What you have is a bunch of lies that have been blown up your skirt, lady. And you're in here trying. Nobody's going to listen to you because you don't have facts on your side. You know how we know? Because you come directly from the hate channels. You know how we know? Because of the way you're talking. You know, if you just did your own fact finding and your own research instead of listening to these stupid yahoos that can't even work at the Slurpee counter of 7-Eleven, you wouldn't look so stupid in my chat. Have a good day. I can't with you. It's Sunday. Have a good day. God bless. So Monday, we know 6 a.m. KP wakes up and goes directly to Sebastian's room and he's gone. At 6:03, Katie calls CP to report Sebastian missing. We don't know what time Katie leaves the home to head for the school. But according to Chronicles of Olivia, I heard some S last night on the live that Seth Rogers was trying to put in some time. Oh, give me. You know what? These people are nothing but misinformation and disinformation. That's why you don't go to hate channels that have felons running them for your information on these cases. If these people could do research, they'd probably know the law and know how to get out of the law instead of being felons. Just saying. Right? This is the bad part when you go to idiots for your content. I can't with them. It's Sunday. They're not going to upset us today. We'll get God. Let them, stew in their own BS. You know, at the end of the day, when all this stuff comes out, they're going to be like, well, how did we get it wrong? We looked at this because you were listening to a bunch of idiots, uneducated idiots with a microphone. That's exactly why. And you wonder why you're so shocked when these trials come because you don't listen to reason. You're idiots. Not my audience, of course. why you guys are here. 6:03, KP calls CP to report Sebastian missing. We don't know what time KP leaves the house to head toward the school, but according to Chronicles of Olivia, let's go to Chronicles of Olivia. She's running around the house. Let's put this up and listen to what she says about the running around the house.
About 9 o'clock. Told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard.
Yeah, we don't.
And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he wasn't here.
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid?
I can guarantee that's not going through her mind.
Choice words were used. Like, you know, where the F is he? You know. I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and.
I called. Hold on.
Like, you know, where the F is he? You know.
I was about to say. She stumbled right there. I had called my, who was she calling? And she stops herself.
Looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, you know, walls and watch, you know, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But, after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat, but I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "He's not in this effing house. I can't find our son." And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove.
Neighborhood she did not drive through. We learned from Miss Bobby that she did leave the home. We don't know when she left the home. We believe, you know, she obviously left the home before the cavalry comes in, and she was returned back by 6:45 to 6:50. But we don't know what time she actually left for the home, and she heads for the school. The issue is she never stopped at the school. She never walked inside the school to ask anybody had they seen her son. Why would she just drive that way and not even go into her destination to find out if her son's in school? Right? But we did hear that there was a vehicle over on the other side of the school at the Warsham's General Store. Maybe she was going to meet somebody instead of look for her kid, because she definitely did not look in the community where he allegedly disappeared from before she took off out of the community. At 6:22, CP texts and calls Seth. At 6:33, some 11 minutes later, CP calls while KP calls the non-emergency line of Sumner County Sheriff's Office while allegedly KP is muted on three-way because she was hysterical, but managed to get her crazy in check by the time the cavalry came home, where she was cute, you know, cool as a cucumber. And then at 6:45 to 6:50, shortly before 7, the first patrol cars arrive to the house. Now, based upon Nick the Hat's last post, it's not necessarily what's being spoken. It's what's being omitted. So what's missing here? What's omitted in this story? This is going to be the challenge to the 578 people in this chat. Please email me, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, and explain to me what is missing. What is omitted from the story? What do you think is omitted from the story? Is there something that has been completely overlooked and hasn't been discussed? Send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Finally, Alibis. Alibis. We've got just 5 more minutes. We're going to get to the bloopers. I didn't forget. Thank you all for stepping up to the challenge. I hope you guys like the blooper. It was funny. I'm playing it again. Maybe the next time we'll play the Crotchgate one for Brian Koberger. That one was, I'm sorry. I still die every time I see that one. Alibis. Mom was asleep. Bio dad. I was at work. Stepdad. No comment. Just thought I'd put that in perspective. Poker night, green hoodie gang. Possibly, but we still haven't confirmed poker night. We still haven't corroborated the possibility of him being off work for a 4-day weekend. We're still trying to get that confirmed. We have confirmed that he didn't arrive to work until closer to 6:30, between 6:30 and 6:45. He never told his job that he had a missing kid and was thrown out of his job because of his behavior, his ruthless behavior that was putting his well-being as well as other workers that were on his job sites well-being at risk. That's when he got kicked off, is that he was putting other people's lives at risk on his job that morning. And still, even with all of his bad behavior, still never told his job that he was missing his stepchild that he knew about before he even got to work. Doesn't make sense, especially when we look at Leilani's case and we see her boyfriend, Daniel Youngkin, find out that baby Q was missing, and he literally didn't even clock out. He ran as hard as he could toward the door, got in the car, and went directly home. That's what you expect from somebody that didn't know anything was wrong in their home. He wasn't even a step-parent. He was just the mom's boyfriend. And we've got a stepfather that lived with this child every single day and has been taking care of this child every single day for 8 years. This child's never ran away. And he doesn't even tell his employer his child is missing and continues to go on about his day as if nothing ever happened. That is a little odd for somebody like me. Very odd, as a matter of fact. Very, very, very odd. CP called Seth and went back to work. He did. And it took him another 11 minutes, Gina. Another 11 minutes before they called law enforcement. Remember, at the very beginning, the green shirt, let me find it. I think it's in the first little bit. Let's see.
It was a really good weekend.
Let's listen.
We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you." Say goodnight to his puppies. A little bit later, I wound up going to bed, and when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there.
So in your mind, that's usually around what time? When do you normally wake up? Around 6 o'clock?
6.
So were you instantly thinking something's wrong, or were you like, he may...
Earpiece and it does the
There it
radios.
is.
If it's
So you said you were on the phone with her, so you were not home.
no, ma'am.
Okay.
I was at work. I'm a tower crane operator, and I was working.
Look at
in
his scratch.
Memphis at St. Jude.
That was a nervousness. Let's go back.
You were on the
Watching
phone with
scratch.
her, so
That's
you
nervousness.
were not home.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I was at work. I'm a tower crane operator, and I was working in Memphis at the St. Jude project. So it's, I have an earpiece in that talks to my phone. I have another earpiece in that does the radios.
We know that was a lie. He was not on that crane at 6:03. He did not get on that crane until close to 7 a.m. Some 30 minutes after all these calls were made. 20 to 30 minutes afterwards.
So when she was talking to me, I was like, what? I was confused. We talked about where he could possibly be, and then we went from there and led to calling the cops, and here we are now.
led to calling the cops, and here we are now. Sounds like he called cops immediately. Sounds like they called cops immediately. Let's see what they say here.
I made breakfast that morning. Breakfast to bread. And so we went to the bowling alley about 9 o'clock. Told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama." About midnight, I got up.
Okay.
Going through your mind at that point, like what were the feelings that you were feeling?
Okay, we're done here now.
I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1. And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "He's not in this effing house. I can't find our son." And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school. And he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying, I was screaming, and he was like three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement.
He three-wayed law enforcement after she drove around the neighborhood. He three-wayed law enforcement. This sounds fairly immediate. So let me go over here and see if this one, if I can find immediate in this one, because I'm pretty sure he used immediate. This Control F. Okay, so he didn't use it. So he must have used it in Nancy Grace. There was an immediate. He says, I got to find it. He said he called law enforcement immediately because that's what parents are supposed to do. And then we find out that he actually texted Seth before he called law enforcement some 11 minutes later after texting Seth. The cavalry come in. Again, alibis for mom, I was asleep. Bio dad, I was at work. Stepfather, no comment. All right, guys, that's it. Before we close out, we met our goal. So let me get this up. And let's watch the bloopers of Betty. The bloopers of Betty. Let me see if I can get it a little bit bigger than that, if I can. There we go. All right, let's watch.
To go to sleep.
Look at my eyes. Thank you. That is so cute.
Alarmed by Sebastian being missing. She just took a second look around the house. Thinking something's wrong.
Did I do that? Is that an effect? Did I hit a wrong thing?
Shower. Is the living room.
Oh my God. I thought somebody did that to me. Forward, and I didn't realize it had fallen forward. And I thought you guys did it the whole thing. I thought I was working it. This is a live show. You never know when your equipment starts falling in on you and you're having some issues, right? So I'm working it. Hey, I thought that looked awesome. I thought, I think I could do that stuff. The things I do. And what had happened is, that was a TikTok. So they can buy you stuff and put stuff on your face and stuff like that when you're live. And so I thought it was one of those things. But see, Delilah was in the bed. I think she was something happened, but the phone fell forward and I went to put it back up. And apparently I hit an effect as I was adjusting it somehow, or when it hit me, it hit the effect. And so I thought it was something that somebody had purchased to put on my face. So I'm just, working it. And I'm like, usually these things come up and they're up for like 5 or 10 seconds and then they're gone. I'm like, man, I'm voguing a long time here. And I'm like, did I do that? And I realized it was me. I thought it was something. I was just working it. I thought somebody tipped me with glasses. It wasn't. It was just me apparently not realizing that I'm I did it myself, and I'm voguing on a live broadcast. It was great. I'm sure a lot of people had a lot of fun with that. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. It is officially time for church. So I've already ran over. If you guys go to church with us, please come on over to Countryside Christian Church. We're there. I know they're already singing. So let's get over there now. God bless y'all. See you soon. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.